Hi my friends, how you doing? These videos, short videos are for house cleanup as well. Okay, I hope details can help you. Thank you. Okay, so for people that live by themselves, for sure they have to start getting up at 4. Why is that? Because everyone is going to study or work from 7 to noon. And the new team gonna be from 1 to 6, right? Study or work. So because everyone gonna study and work, one period one, the other period something else, right? The other morning and afternoon do one of these two things. And the other thing that's important for everyone to keep ready, their last receipts. What are they? The last receipts that are needed. For example, that proves that they paid. So if they have a roommate, or if they have live on a rental, so they have to go to the office and get that signature of the day they're leaving. Okay, so they have proof of everything they're doing. Make it simple. Write by hand, or you write and bring it ready, or the secretary will quickly write by hand. Avoid machines. But if the machine is right there, type, print, get it done as soon as possible. But for every document, remember, you need the writing, words of those two people, and will be what? Name and date and signature. And for the other person, name, date, and signature. So will be a different thing. So we always have proof of the handwriting for the clinic or office, and also from yourself. Okay, so have those last receipts scanned, or take pictures on your cell phone as soon as you have them. Okay, so you can have them on your email. All right, so that's very important. Have that, all those information. And that from the people that the tenants and owners the owners gonna write to the tenants that they do not owe anything, that the tenants do not owe anything to them. It's important to have those agreements, right? Even that after the organization, they nothing gonna be, but count for our standards, right? We need points. We want points, right? Life points for ourselves. That's the main thing. Before we think that the organization need points, we have to place points at the PSAP, we're doing for ourselves. So have all your receipts properly organized. And keep notes of them all right? Okay, thank you. So if you have a small ball like that, very small one, you're not keeping, you just send out to be recycled. The balls that we are using gonna need at least like a tennis ball, to be played, or a little smaller, that's fine, to be played with the small wooden rackets I told you about. Okay, so needs to be bigger than that. That's way too small. A little bigger than that, we're gonna give you a proper measurement, so families can still play. For all sports that are authorized, people are gonna keep at their own location for each residential community. Then you're gonna know if up to 10 sets or 20 sets, for example, of these rackets, right? So families can share, play, put it back, share, play, put it back, and all families gonna share. All right, for some items you can even gonna have online a place to set up the time, if they're gonna be using from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. So every family can schedule, for example, for Saturday afternoon, or for Sunday, or for evenings, right? Those 2 hours when they're arriving from school and work, until it's time for them to get inside. So 1 or 2 hours depends for each family and each reality. Okay, Alright, so we're gonna share those sports items and do not keep it at the house. And for children, young children up to 4th grade, they're gonna have the toys already told you and all the others, extra ones. So keep like 2 baskets or so, right? The other ones you can bring to the clubhouse or the room you have or the apartment that's empty for now while you sort out items if you don't have a better location. But every community gonna have something, right? A place or an empty house to keep those items and be shared on a scheduled day so the families can drop off if they have too many or pick up if they have too little or none. All right, thank you. Oh, I got it. Okay, so here's an example of a notebook, Aspire notebook. I don't even know where I got this from. No, my son brought from school. But anyways, if you have something like that in your school or at the house, what you're gonna do? You're gonna use every single page. You're gonna cut here and take those things out, the ones that are already used and the ones that have wires, and recycle separately, right? The aluminum with aluminum and paper with paper, okay? All right, so that's just a very simple thing. We are not throwing any white paper or line paper out because they're very useful, okay? I thank you. Oh, sorry, my phone is not turning off. Okay, so from the notice day on, in a reasonable time, of course, for all parents, start talking every day with your family. The first day or so, talk to your spouse. And after that, make sure you talk to all family members. You're going to have consistency and change if needed. Before dinner or after dinner, okay, whichever you think is the best. If the family is preparing food together and they're small children, they have to go to bed by 8, what you're gonna do? You're gonna talk a little bit while you're cooking. If that's the time you have, that's what you have. Go ahead, get it done. But if they're older, most of them can go by 9, have dinner and then have the meeting. Okay, always have a few notes on your family records book. Okay, this is very important. Have them written down. Okay, because that's very important. We had our meeting today, and then I'm gonna say before, after dinner, and in a few words, write down what you talk about, because the parents go a little later to bed, right? So about 9 o'clock they go to their bedroom, right? So they can also sleep, have enough sleep, and get up 4 or 5, depending on the need, and of course to have an adjustment time. We don't want anyone to get crazy, my friends. The objective of having rules and guidelines, it's one thing. The other thing is adjustment time. For 2 or 4 weeks, we're gonna just do the best we can in each situation we are. It's not for anyone to get crazy, because some people, for example, they have houses full of stuff, garages full of stuff, lots of clothes, lots of shoes, and some families have almost none. So for us to give details about everything, we're just gonna do the best we can as well. And you're gonna make also the best as possible, right? For these cleanup weeks and pick up. And some families, some people have really a lot, and it's just 1 or 2 living on that house or huge house. And on extreme, some families are really many living in 2 rooms, houses that have 2 rooms, don't even have a proper living room. Living room is already their bedroom. So we have extremes, lots of extremes in our planet. So what we're going to do? The best we can, okay? All right. And for the cleanup, the same way. All the community is going to have the days of their pickup, if any adjustments needed. We can give 2 more days, maybe, depends on what it is. And those grandparents, for example, they're gonna do the cleanup they can and already move to live with one of their married sons or daughters, right? Son or daughters, okay? So that's another thing that's very important. What else I have to say? I think we're saying many things, many updates, okay? So it's very important for no one to get crazy. Some are going to be receiving people from nursing homes, from assisting living, from jail, from juvenile, from drug retreats. So people are going to be going home from all those things. So they have to hurry up with the cleanup as soon as possible with their house items, right? Because as soon as their family members arrive, they're gonna focus on what? They have to focus on the people that are arriving. Make sure they have food, they have information, they have explanations, they have meetings, they are happy, they have vitamins, they have colorful salads and everything else. Okay? All right. And always focus on the positive. Okay, don't focus, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. No. If you have, for example, if you did something wrong, we ask people to repeat 4 times the positive things just for us to be practicing, right? For us to be practicing, but not for us to get crazy about. Okay, because on the beginning, we're going to do everything that's reasonable. Okay, the best as possible. And grandparents or family members that have to travel to live with the main family or with their moms or dads or with their son or daughters that are married, they do their cleanup the best as possible and go. The next family arriving to that house gonna complete, okay? All right, my friends, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Okay, for people that have a small ladder, what you're gonna do? You are going to keep the ones you have for up to 2 weeks because some people have things on the top and tall cabinets, things stored. All right, let's say 1 week. So you're gonna start from the top, clean lights, clean lamp shades, of course, if you're really healthy and not an elder, right? If you feel that you're capable in doing. So clean your lamp shades that are ceiling lamp shades or the ones that, ceiling, long or short. Okay, like these ones here, let's say, so we have here, it's on attached there to this column, right, this here, or the ones that are like that, but they're ceiling lamps, okay? So this is important. So the other thing is that, so you can go ahead, for example, for places that have the top counter there, you see, go ahead, sweep with the small broom, wipe, wherever you can, get it done. Do the top first, because in 1 week you have to give away those small ladders. Each community are going to have the ladders that they need. All right, share with the people that don't have so they can get their work done. So if you can get your top work done in 1 or 2 days, go ahead, hurry up. So other people can use until the end of that first week. Everyone already cleaned the top cabinets, the top counters as I just showed you. All right? Okay, you're doing really great. Okay, so let's say a few more words about the kitchen. We are going to have cameras on the stove clock and on the ceiling lights of the whole house, right? Places like that. You know, the best, and also the big regular cameras in each room, one big one. Okay, because those things we're not going to hide from people. Many places already have them anyways. So it's important for us to have cameras, right? Because people tend to do even better if they see that there are cameras. People are checking on things they're doing. So we're gonna have them all over in places the best as possible. So if you have how you call the smoke detector and all these things, you just wait, don't touch it until bad information is given, okay? Because some of them are connected to electricity and some other ones are, they have their battery, so no one gonna touch them until bad information is given at the organization launching day, for the ones that are electric and for the ones that are battery charged, okay? Because they're gonna be, we're gonna see if we need them or not at the kitchen, okay? To have a small one, because for many people gonna take time. Some people even never cook, right? They cook in different ways, like indigenous people, for example, and they're gonna be all over, right, in different apartments, different places. So I'm going to give information on smoke detectors afterwards. Don't touch them. If you have, you have. If you don't, you don't. And wait for the information at our website on the organization launching day. All right? Okay, we're doing great. Thank you. Okay, so about the kitchen still. So let's talk about mugs. So we can have this one, for example, it's a little more than 10 centimeters tall, and this one is about 10. This blue one here. Okay, this one here. All right, so you're gonna choose the ones that are plain, not the colorful ones. All right, that's the spots that what you're gonna do until new ones arrive, and each person gonna have their own. We're not throwing them away. So if you find, for example, this one is thinner, give to an older teen or an adult. This is thicker and is smaller, give to a younger children. This is medium, but it's a little larger. See here? It's larger, but very strong. So you can keep it to a child. So you're gonna see which ones you do and do the best you can. All right, plain colors. Plain colors, not black, no words. But if you have the ones that you have, what you're gonna do? Keep one for each person of the house until the new ones arrive by the organization. All right? Okay, then we're going to give details. For example, this one is too large. You know, might break easy. I have it for a long time, months, maybe a year, don't know. But you're gonna have details on that, but this one can be kept. Look, small. This one also, it's closed, very strong, but this is not so strong. You see here? You know, and much larger than the other one. See? Here, let me put them together for you to have an idea. Much further away than this one here. Okay, so details on that, if gonna be replaced or not. But I think we just can use, go ahead and use. You can change if you want, but give to the thrift store for someone else that can use. Okay, if you want a pattern in colors or a pattern in size, you know, you can have different size according to the age of your children. All right, okay, thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Okay, so the other thing is that, like, for some notes on this 1 or 2 weeks transition time, if you're going to work, you know, and you want to leave a note for a teenager, for example, right? Just have some notes that you can use over and over. So, like, I went to work. I'm gonna be back about this or that time. I'm going to study. I'm gonna be back about this or that time. So they know. But of course, if they are elementary children, the parents gonna need to be there. And depending also on the type of the neighborhood that you have. Okay, so that's very important. And but for middle school and high school, if they're in a reasonable um, community, sorry, it's if in the community with reasonable safety, then it's okay, they can come by themselves. All right, but make sure you can write the notes in a strong paper or flashcards and reuse them, and always place in the same location, communication between them. So for example, if the teenager also wants to leave a note, right, they can leave a note, of course according to what's authorized, because middle school and high school can go out or not depending on the security. Even elementary school, for example, this community I'm here right now, we are safe, we're really safe, I know the neighbors, I live here for many years. So every community might be very different from one and another, and we really have to have more caution when we start to receive new people to each community, because we have no idea who they are, where they're coming from, and we cannot ask too much information. Also for safety, their safety, your safety, right, to avoid conflicts, because some they for years they hate each other for what? For religion, for grounds, right? The separation of land and things like that. So that's why we're avoiding to have too much information, at least for those first 2 years or so. We're gonna give more details that the volunteer security from the security department gonna let us know when would be the best. So we're not asking people, okay, because of those reasons. I think for 2 years or even 4 years, because so people can have time. 2 years for sure, so people can have time to just start to focus on being friends to each other, but also cautious, and have like know about each other, neighbors, right, in general, before they ask where they're from or which religion they had. That we're not going to ask anyways. Okay, all right. So as soon, I repeat, as soon as the new families start to arrive, everything gonna change. You have to keep your kids and teens at the house at all times. Okay, if you go outside, go together. If you come inside the house, go inside together. All right, because of all these details. All right, and teens that used to go out, go to parks, because they used to live in a safe city, even that you are on that same city and know about everything, they cannot do those things by themselves anymore. Okay, so all these details are very important. All right, okay, thank you so much, my friends. Talk to you soon. For the house fixing, if they miss anything, go ahead. If you already have the Peace app, make their notes on Peace app. Look, forgot this detail here, this detail there, already say. If you don't have the Peace app or you don't have a cell phone yet, make sure you do the best way as possible. Write a note or do on your email, using your email. Make sure you always have proper documentation for everything you do. Like send a text sentence using WhatsApp. Okay, the best as possible. And of course, if you already have the Peace app, do it using the Peace app, depending on what it is. But for residential communities, we are going to use the WhatsApp, because the department director is going to have access each one of them, each couple, the leader and the assistant, these 4 people, right, gonna have access to all residents of that residential community. Okay? All right, make your notes. At the house, for example, they forgot to patch a little something in one wall, they didn't find out, or a hidden spot. Make a note, put on the floor, like a paper 10 by 10 or so, right? So when they come, they easily gonna find out. If it's hard to explain, just put the paper on that location, so they easily gonna find out where it's located. All right, so I did that here, the house, and you can do the same way because that's gonna help. The other thing is for the refrigerator items, magnetic items, or drawings, pictures, things posted on with tape. Nothing of this you're gonna use. Why? Because we have to focus when we're at the kitchen. First, if you're going to drink water, get water and done. If you're going to prepare food and done. If you're going to clean up and done. We have to focus on the salads, on the colorful items, on the washing, on the cleaning up, and not watching images or photos or anything else on the refrigerators, okay? The 4 pictures allowed for each family. You can have those tables that I showed, narrow tables, that's okay. About what? About up to, depends, if the house is very big, I think up to even 2 meters, that's fine, but I think like a meter something, I think that's 1.5 meters maybe, that's the most sustainable, with about 40 centimeters wide. I think that's good and sustainable with those 4 picture frames, right? On the details we're going to show you after. If you have any on a medium size, you can keep them until you have details, but not if they're mirrored or things like that. So wait for those details, and we're going to give more information afterwards. And because we're not having objects, so and on this narrow table or pictures or even objects, magnets, small ones, of course, at the refrigerator. All right? Okay, thank you. Okay, for the other thing is that for food in bags, so you're gonna always give preference to the ones that are transparent, like this one, okay? And what you're gonna do, instead of putting on the refrigerator like that, you're gonna fold, right? The part you don't need, you're gonna fold, gonna keep like that. Not open like that. You fold for the air, for space, you fold what you can. All right. Instead of doing this side, what you're gonna do, you're going ready to use the transparent part that you have, or a plastic bag that you already have, facing up. Okay, because remember, we have cameras in all refrigerators. It's going to be placed cameras as soon as possible, or at the light or at another location. All right, we need those things to make sure every family will have only positive items, according to the time that's given for each. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. If you purchase, or if you're already gathering from your own garden, if it's many, if it's a little bit, or the hard plastic container I told you, each family gonna choose, and use transparent as soon as possible. Okay, and for every item the families do not have and need, like transparent top, gonna place an order, purchase or have it for free as soon as possible. For example, this one I'm using just for now, once I already got anyways. Okay, so the top needs to be transparent, so we see what each family has. Okay, how much food, if it's too much, if it's too little, if the ones that are authorized. I'm just putting like that so they're always together. And on a filter, if it's a good plastic, if you don't have another one, you can use for sprouting. All right? Okay, because we're gonna need a lot of sprouts for food and for our properties, and also for parks and preserves and places like that. All right, thank you. Okay, so you're gonna take, like I did here, you're gonna take all the paper out the best as possible, and the paper that you cut, and you're gonna have like that from the Aspire book I showed you earlier, and put everything separated to be recycled. Pieces of paper, like all that, or the aluminum itself, okay? And crumble them up. Instead of having a long piece like that, crumble them up, okay? So it will be more sustainable for people at the recycle center to recycle those items. Thank you. Pray, my friends, pray, because this phone is new, cannot break right now.